Okay, this is Leo Flores. Thank you for joining me today on my channel. Today is weight loss tip number 4, know thyself. So, unfortunately, we're going to talk about a little bit of math today, and I know if you talk about math, you're going to lose 70 to 80% of the typical audience. For me, that's going to end up being tens of thousands of followers will probably drop off. But for those who remain, you will be empowered with the knowledge of science. If I knew how to overlay this on our webcast, I would, but one of the best science fictions made of all time never received the acclaim it deserved. But so let's talk about our topic of the day, which is the BMR, which stands for the basal metabolic rate. Basically, that's the number of calories you burn just to live. So if you had 2 broken knees and were laid up in bed and people brought you everything you needed, that would be what you expend just laying in bed. You add to that some exercise factors, depending on how mobile you are, you can add a factor to that. And when you take your age, your height, your weight, you will end up with a BSR for BMR. For those of you who would like to know more about it, of course, you can go to Wikipedia, look up the definition, look up the formula. There's plenty of websites where you can just plug in to the website your age, weight, sex, height, and get the answer for what your BMR is. For people who are following my process, you need to build your own spreadsheet. Again, if you want, reach out to me and I'll send you mine. But basically, we talked about this in the last vlog or podcast, that you should be tracking your weight and your target weight every day, and see how you're doing, whether you're going up and down. And where this comes into play is every day you have a new BMR, because as your weight changes, your exercise changes, that number changes every day. You should know what it is every day. We will talk more about the details of this later, but basically that's your target. If your BMR, resultant BMR calories for that day are less, then you lose weight. If you eat more than that, then you gain weight. So you have your first initial target. So if you join me for our next podcast, the weight loss tip number 5, how to do math, it's really just how to use the BMR in your plan. I'll explain this in greater detail. Thanks for joining me.